What is going on, guys? Snickel here, and today I have another trophy talk for you. This is for the week of February 3rd, 2019. And last week has been not that productive of a week. Again, I've kind of been in this little lull where I haven't really been wanting to play too many games and do stuff of that sort. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in this video, what my plan is moving forward. But I'm not going to stop playing games or making videos or doing anything like that. It's going to be kind of a turn of what type of games are going to be played and things of that sort. So, again, I'll talk about this a little bit later on in the video when I'm going to be talking about what I plan on playing in the upcoming weeks and stuff of that sort. But anyway, with all that being said, let's talk about what I've been playing in the past week. So, last week I ended on Jurassic the Hunted. I had been playing that on stream one night. My plan was to play it another night on stream, get everything done, and get that platinum on stream. Everything went great. I got everything done, streamed it like the next day or so, and got the platinum. And it was very it was very enjoyable. I ended up getting the platinum a lot faster than I thought I was going to get it. First time I played through that game, it took me like 2 streams to get through the story. And then when I played through it again, I didn't realize how fast the story was. And then I was going for this one trophy. My last trophy was this Nocturus Rex, which is to complete the game without dying. And I thought I was going to have to play through the whole story all over again, but it turns out you only have to do chapter select. Each chapter actually like tracks if you die or not, and you literally just have to play the chapters that you died in, and once you pass them all without dying, you get the trophy. So it was pretty cool. I didn't have to play through a third time. I played about 2.5 times through this game, so it wasn't awful. Right above that, we have Bad Company 2. Now, I've been talking about this game for a while. I was finally glad to get the multiplayer done a few weeks back, and my plan was to play through the story, get all the collectibles and stuff, and then get the platinum. Last week, I did end up finishing going through the story, got the rest of the MCOM stations that I need to get. I do have all the clips for that, so I'm going to be making a collectible guide for that somewhat soon, within the next few days, and then ended up getting that platinum on stream the same night as Jurassic the Hunted. So we got a nice double platinum on stream that night. It was very nice. So with that being said, with Bad Company 2, I don't know where I'm going to go with Battlefields. The thing with Battlefield is there's always something to do with that franchise, whether it be Bad Company 1, which is always going to be something that people can do, whether it be finishing up my Battlefield 3, doing, Battlefield Hardline, and then I kind of group the Battlefront games into it as well because they're somewhat the same way. You can't rent servers and stuff, but they're somewhat the same way of getting trophies and things, the type of trophies, and how it's basically, focused around online. So, and there's Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, even though, Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 1 are pretty easy, but, there's those Battlefields to do down the line. So there's always Battlefield games to play, and that's just what it comes down to. But finally, Bad Company 2 is done. Now, I know what a lot of people are asking. Are you going to do Bad Company 1? And to be completely blunt, I'm still not sure. I'll be talking about this a little bit later on, what's going to end up changing, but I'm not 100% sure if I'll be going for Bad Company 1 anytime really in the near future. But again, I'll talk about that a little later on. Next up, we have the Grand Tour. So I ended up playing the next episode of the Grand Tour. I haven't played the most recent one. I really do. I really should play that. But they had the one episode come out, so I played that, and then what I ended up doing on stream was my goal for this game was I was gonna do gold guides for each of the episodes, but as I was streaming it the one day, I was like, it's not even worth it, man. Like the golds are so easy to get that it's not even worth doing a gold guide for. So I ended up I scratched that idea. I don't care about making guides for the game, so I'm literally just gonna blow through and get the platinum whenever all the episodes are out and just be done with it. So that's that for the Grand Tour. Again, I do need to play the next episode, so that'll be coming up sometime on stream. Maybe will already have streamed it by the time I put this video out. I don't know. Next up, we have Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars. That is always a mouthful. So last week, I ended up finishing up all of the mini games. I couldn't think for a second. I finished up all the mini games finally, which is 100 stars to 5 star. All the mini games gives you 100 stars. And then on stream last week, I started working through the tournaments. I got about halfway through the tournaments or so, 5 starring them. So I only have like maybe 4 or 5 more tournaments, which is approximately like 20 to 25 more stars to get. And then I will get the 100% in this, because one of the trophies that I have left is to complete the tournament challenge, which my assumption for that is just getting all the way through every tournament, 1 star or 5 stars. And then the last one is just earning all the stars in single player, which all I have left is the tournament stars. So I'm done uploading videos on this other than when I get the 100%, but I'll be glad to get that 100% soon, because you guys probably know Rocket League is like one of my favorite games to play, and this is the predecessor of Rocket League. This game is the reason Rocket League is around, so it'll be nice to get like somewhat of a series done, because they are somewhat one of another, to say the least. But that's coming along, and I'll probably finish that up on stream, sometime in the next week or two, and just get it done. And next up, or lastly, I should say, what I played this week was WWE Smackdown versus Raw 2010. Now, I know what you're thinking, Snickel. Why? Why are you playing this? Well, I put it on my list probably about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. I played it, got 1 trophy, and then the reason that I stopped and I never continued going for this platinum was strictly because of the training checklist. I was playing through, I was trying to do everything in the training checklist, and there was stuff that I just couldn't do. I didn't understand the lingo of the game, something along those lines, and I just stopped playing it. So what ended up happening the other night on stream was, once I got done, basically I basically played all these games on stream. So I went from Jurassic to Battlefield to Grand Tour to Supersonic to WWE. And I told people, I said, I got a real like stinker game here for you guys that like people have kind of been asking about, like kind of, but not really. I've had like a few comments like, hey, you should play that. It's on your list. But so I was like, you know what? No one's thinking about it, so let's bring it up. So I brought it up, got through the training checklist, and then I started playing through the WrestleMania story modes, because there's like multiple story modes you have to play through. So I started doing that, and then the rest of it after that is just clean up, doing a few like creative character stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. But it'll be nice to get that done. It's been on my list forever, and it's been sitting there at like 2% for like years now, so it'll be nice to get that done. And then, yeah, that's that. So that's all I've really been playing this week. Like I said, not too much. Honestly, I did 0 boosting this week. We were supposed to boost Last of Us on Friday and or Saturday, but everyone seemed to be busy Friday and or Saturday, so we weren't able to boost Last of Us. But in the upcoming weeks, what is the plan? So obviously, Last of Us is my main concern for multiplayer boosting during the weekend, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously, you guys might not know that, but during the weekend is really the only time that people are available when we're boosting that game. So I try to shoot for Friday or Saturdays. Saturdays, like, is usually when we do it, but like I said, people were busy last week, so we weren't able to do it. The other game that I had kind of been boosting was Need for Speed The Run. Waves and I really haven't played that at all in like a week or two. So I got to get with him soon, and we got to finish that up, because I'd really like to get that done. There's a secret to playing that game, and I won't share it until we're done, because I'm still not 100% sure if it's the way to do it. And then another game that I had been boosting recently was Dead or Alive 5. That's just going. That's what it comes down to. Andrew and I really haven't played any of it recently, like in 2 weeks, so we haven't really done too much. Really, I haven't done any boosting in the past week to week and a half, so that's just what it comes down to. And another game that I really need to get back to is MX vs. ATV Supercross, which I've been trying to kind of schedule with the guy that I've been doing this with, like, can we do it? And he doesn't respond, and then he responds to me, and I'm like, well, I can't do it. So it's kind of been in limbo right now, where we're not communicating well, is probably the best way to say it. But I might actually message him after making this video and do some of that. So that's basically my plan for the week. Single player wise, I'm not sure. It's up in the air. Definitely want to stream WWE and try to get through that, and maybe play some of these DLC games, because or play some DLC, mainly in games like Bloodborne and Tabletop Racing and Watch Dogs 2, and maybe Spin Tires, and whatever. Another game is Dantes Inferno. I've been slowly working on that, trying to do some challenges. So, that's just coming along. The thing that really irritates me about Dantes Inferno with the challenges is, like, if you're playing a platinum challenge, right, you're playing the hardest challenge that they have to offer. It might take 40 minutes to beat the challenge, right? But, like, you're set with a certain amount of lives. So let's say you get in, like, to almost the last, wave or something of this whole challenge, and then you die for some, stupid reason, or there's a really hard challenge at the end, and you can't do it, and you keep dying. You lose all that. You just wasted 35 minutes to get up to this point, and you've got nothing to account for. So now you have to restart the whole thing. So it can take a while, and it feels like it's just dragging on. Like that's how it honestly feels to me. Like it won't go away. It just keeps popping up, and it will not go away. So that's that. Slowly working on it. No, not really like anything too major to talk about there. Didn't get any trophies or anything in it. So, what I want to talk about, and I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video. This is probably going to be a shorter video just because, not too much went on last week, and I'm not really sure what's going to be coming up this week. But, one thing that I did want to touch on this video is last video I talked about. I really harped on, possibly being done with the whole, multiplayer only grind, like only playing multiplayer in games and not really ever playing single player unless it's on stream or something of that sort. And I kind of came to the conclusion this week after talking to a few people that that's probably the route to go, is just like to stop the whole like multiplayer only and actually sit down and try to play games and get through games. Because part of me thinks that that's the reason why I'm not really enjoying games as much as I used to enjoy them that much, because, it kind of feels somewhat of like a job, more than a hobby at some points. Like, it sucks when I go and I work, 8+ hours a day. And then, when I come home, I got to worry about someone DMing me about, when can we play this? Or I have to worry about people saying, when can we do this? Or I have to schedule, the Last of Us boost, or I have to schedule this boost or that boost. And I got to worry about, oh, well, I can't do anything Friday night with my friends or anything like this because I told people that I would be there for a boost and stuff like that. So it's like, I want to say that it's kind of somewhat interfering with my like actual personal life, is all this like multiplayer. Like I don't mind getting on and doing something where it's like me and someone else, or me and 2 other people, or me and 3 other people. Even that, like if it's just 4 of us and we're just playing through, we're doing co-op, we're doing something like that, that's fine to me. That's perfectly fine to me. But it's just like having like just people like constantly like, oh, this, all that, and then like I know people are joking, but it like, when you don't actually show up to a boost and people are like, oh, but unreliable booster or whatever, it's like, just shut the fuck up, please, just stop. Like I'm not gonna at some point I'm not gonna ruin my, or like not really ruin, but I'm not gonna like not hang out with real, like my friends in real life, like to get some trophies. Like that's just what it comes down to. So, and I think that's why like I've been kind of so like out of funk, because recently it's just been all about like, oh, other people's schedule and things of that sort. Like back when I started doing multiplayer like a year ago or over a year ago, most of the times, or for at least a big boost, I was just doing it on my own time. So like for kills, let's say Killzone 2 for instance, right? When I was boosting Killzone 2, when we started it, we were all playing together. The most effective way to boost Killzone 2 was for me to get another PS3 and then self-boost it, and that's what I ended up doing. And I was doing it on my own time. I didn't have to message someone and say, are you ready? When do you want to do this? When I wanted to do it, I was able to do it, and that's what it came down to. But, with some games, or with most games, it's not really like that. And especially when you're boosting with people that, you aren't really friends with or aren't in the same time zone as you, that's where it can be kind of annoying, because it's like, hey, I want to boost this, but, you live over in the EU and I live in the US, and there is like a 5-hour time difference between us. And I work like a full-time job, like a 9 to 5, like, or an 8 to 5, like a normal, quote unquote, normal job. So when I'm at my job, you're like probably home. And then when I finally get home from my job, you're probably going to sleep because it's too late over there. So it's like, it's somewhat of a time difference there. And the other reason that I was really boosting a lot of games, like a year or so ago, was because, Carlos and I were boosting a lot of games together, and him and I are on the same time zone. So, if it was 8 p.m. here, he was available. It wasn't like it was 8 p.m. here and, it was 3 a.m. where he is, or, whatever it was. So like we were more flexible because we were literally on the same time zone. But it seems like that isn't the case with a lot of these other games that I'm doing. So basically what I'm trying to say is last week I kind of sat down, I made a list of games that I want to do that are on my list. Then I made a list of games with a few other people, with games that I either said I would do with them, or games that we've already started, or games that they have that they want to do, something along those lines. Like games that they own that they want to do, games that I said that I would do with them, games that we agreed on that we would do, or games that we already have on our list. I sat down with a few people, we put all of those games in there, and then that was that. And then I made a list of games that, I have on my list that I eventually want to get done. Most of them are like really stupid games. Like, let me go down here. Like, I'm talking games like, most of the games that I personally put down was doing stuff like Max Payne 3 and, Far Cry 2. Like, really stupid boost, but like, it's like, I know it has to get done at some point because it's on my list. Like, I eventually want to do it. So, getting into what I was talking about with like Bad Company 1 before, it's not that I don't want to do these games, right? Like Far Cry 2, Max Payne 3, Bad Company 1. I'm not saying I don't want to do these games, but at some point it's not going to be my priority like it was before. I want to get more into just playing games and getting trophies at like my own pace and not having to worry about having to organize stuff and who gets to go first and why do you always get your trophy first and hey, you got your trophy and you left and having to deal with all that bullshit. I don't want to have to deal with it anymore. So I'm not saying that I'm completely done with multiplayer, but I do kind of want to step away from just only doing multiplayer in games and then getting like one platinum every like a month or two. Like, I'd really like to just step away from that. I mean, I have so many games that I really would love to play, so many unique games that I would just really like to dive into that I just haven't been able to because I don't have the time. Because when I'm playing games, when I'm home, when I'm actually using my free time, I'm using my free time to, get online trophies. So probably what's going to end up happening is it's not going to be immediate. It'll probably be like over the next 3 to 6 months. After like that little like time span, I'll probably start like trickling into like playing more, like a lot more single player games and not really playing multiplayer as much, because I would like to go back to how it was in the old days when I used to play, when I would do the multiplayer when I was like playing through the single player. Like, what I used to do is when I was playing through the single player, if I knew the game had multiplayer, I would try to organize the multiplayer while I was playing the single player. It's kind of what I would like to try to get back into, instead of saying like, oh, well, if you have the multiplayer, you have it done. But it's like, yeah, that's true, but not really, because when the fuck are you ever going to do the single player when all you're doing is multiplayer? So, if you do one in the same, if you're playing the multiplayer while doing the single player or vice versa, then you can get it done. So that's probably what I'm going to move to mentality-wise over the next, like I said, 3 to 6 months. I'm probably going to move into that sort of mentality of like, I'm going to go try to finish everything that I've done multiplayer for. Probably won't be able to, but I'm going to try to finish everything that I've done the multiplayer for. I do have some, like, I still do have some big games that I want to do, like, upcoming in those next few months. So it's not like I'm going to be completely, like, gone. But, we'll see what happens. And like I said, the 3 to 6 months, it might turn into a year. It might turn into, there's not really a specific time period that I gave myself. There's still a lot of games that I want to do that aren't really going to just take a weekend. So, it might be a year, it might be 2 years, like, who knows? But all I'm saying is, at some point in the near future, I want to kind of just stop the whole multiplayer only, never playing the single player, and just completely move away from that and go to the way that I used to play games back in the day, because I feel like it is kind of affecting my enjoyment of games, because, like I said, I just feel like I'm always on someone else's schedule, I always feel like it's like, oh, when are you available? You're available at, 8 p.m. this night? Oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to be available at that night. Like, there's no, oh, you're available at 8. Well, can you be available at 6? Because that's when everyone else is available, like stuff like that. So I think some of it is irritation, but I'm not going to blame that, because I don't want to. So slowly move away from the multiplayer only, and that'll be that. So with that being said, I don't really have a plan. Well, I guess I do have a plan. So the upcoming week, what do I plan on doing? I don't know if I've already talked about this. So going to keep streaming WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2010, get through that on stream. I do want to work through Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Power Battle Cars on stream as well, so those will probably be my 2 stream games until they're done. I do want to work through the multiplayer on Need for Speed The Run. I do want to finish Dead or Alive 5 multiplayer. Last of Us would be nice to get done. I really would like to get done my big boosting games, that being Last of Us Remastered. Star Wars Battlefront, the 1 DLC would be nice to get done. And then, like, that's probably it. There's a few others that I know will require more people, like Ghost Recon Future Soldier, and I think, like, Binary Domain, and a few other games. Like, they're like kind of big boosting games, but like they're not top of my priority. You know, I said I would do them with people, so it kind of comes down to more like finding the people to actually do them than to like play with random people, because that's one of the other things. There's no way in hell that I'm going through PSN profiles for boosting sessions anymore, because I can tell you right now, I'm not dealing with that bullshit. And I'm sure most of you guys know, because you've probably used the gaming sessions before, but like, people are stupid. That's the best way to put it. And that's the nicest way to put it. People are stupid. You sign up for a session, right? And this is the shit that irritates me. I don't want to go on too long. I don't want to go on tangents, because next thing I know, the video will be over an hour long, and people will be happy about that. But I don't want to go on super long tangents here, but the thing that irritates me with gaming sessions is, you know, you set up a gaming session, or matter of fact, someone else sets up a gaming session. Let's say they want to boost Assassin's Creed Revelations. Hey, I want to boost this game. Okay, cool. I want to do it too. So you join the session, and then the guy's like, the message says, this time and date is not a placeholder. We will play at this time. Okay, cool. So then you go to send them a message. You can't send them a message because their messages are locked. You go to send them a friend request. You can't send them a friend request because his friend requests are locked. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to get in touch with you? Like, you're running a game. You're running a session to boost a game, and no one can contact you. Like, are you going to send the friend requests out? Like, how is this working? Because most of the times when you join a gaming session, you either send the friend request or you send a message to the person right away saying, like, hey, just want to let you know, like, I joined your session just to, like, let people know, because everyone's on their PlayStations because they're playing games. Not everyone is checking the gaming sessions every, second of the day. So that shit irritates me. Another one that irritates me is when you would join a gaming session and you would say like, or it would say like, time and date is a placeholder. We will, we'll get together when we have enough people. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll just join, and then they'll eventually send a message out when they get enough people, because they'll be checking it, and then they never send a message out, and it just gets lost in the dust, and it's like, okay, we'll see you. Or if you set up a session like that, and then you send messages out, and then people don't respond, or they just like completely ghost you, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. So that's kind of why I'm not going near the gaming sessions, because to be honest, it's more of a headache than it is a help, and that's what it comes down to. Because, again, people are stupid. That's the best and nicest way I can put it. My throat is killing me. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Like I said, it's not going to be too long. We're looking at like 25 minutes. I know people like the longer episodes, but I didn't have too much to talk about. And there wasn't like really any news or anything. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to give it a like, leave any questions or comments down in the comments below. There's links to all types of stuff in the description below. You'll find links to other videos like this. You'll find links to my platinum trophies that I've been getting recently, links to my Twitter, my Twitch, this page right here if you want to go look at my stats and my trophies and, that stuff. All that's linked down in the description below. If I could speak, that's down in the description below, so you can go check any of that stuff out if you want to. Like I said, leave any questions or comments down in the comments below. Like the video if you did enjoy it. If you have made it this far and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing for more trophy content like this, and I hope to see you guys all around sometime soon.